Let's pull it hard once again. It's the traction. What's up YouTube? We have a very beautiful motorcycle today. The BMW F900 GS. A motorcycle which I've been longing to ride for ages. This motorcycle was launched a couple of years back and I was like so much pumped looking at the shots which BMW has uploaded on their website, and I'm like, oh, somebody get this motorcycle to India, and finally we have it here. And I don't know, there were mixed reviews for this motorcycle in Indian community, because Indians actually pay for the brand as well as pay for the looks of the motorcycle. So there was a debate that okay, this headlight could have been changed, but once you start riding this motorcycle, you'll get to know that there is nothing to do with this headlight, because headlight is the least used part of that motorcycle, but otherwise the motorcycle is like absolutely fantastic. I've been riding this motorcycle and this is my third day. Phenomenal motorcycle. Day before yesterday I took it on the highway. Yesterday I was doing some trails and some highways, and today also I'm doing some highways, and I just casually took it to this trail road so that I can have some more fun. So yes, this is the rally variant, the trophy variant of this motorcycle. So there are two variants, one is the standard and the trophy. Basic four differences. One is like this, get an adjustable suspension, that doesn't get. That is actually a more road oriented version, so lower seat height. This is taller seat height, and obviously that one get more road oriented tires, this one get off-road tires, and this get an endurance chain, and of course two different paint schemes. That's all, that's the difference. So my obvious pick was this fully adjustable suspension one. Man, what a beautiful ride it is, because this is such a small motorcycle, you can actually park it anywhere and nobody will notice. Most of the people think that it's just a 310, but you can actually send it anywhere. Like, that is the kind of feel that you can do on this motorcycle. So let's have a aesthetically around the motorcycle. So yes, obviously I like the way how the headlight looks, but functionally it is not at all good. We need to have auxiliary lights if you are going on highways, and we have such a long travel suspension. Beautiful thing. It will absorb a lot of things. It will forgive the rider if you are doing something wrong. I'll talk about that a little later, but fantastic suspension. And coming on to the tires, we have tubeless spokes here. Beautiful looking again. Look at that thread pattern, man. I'm a sports motorcycle guy. I recently shifted to this off-roading and trail riding, and now I'm like a sports off-roader. I'm into that kind of a genre now, because I'm a little bored riding motorcycles on the road when it comes to highway tours. So my main intention is like, just get into this kind of roads, explore places where people are less been to. It's not about making content, it's like making memories. So yeah, let's come back to the motorcycle, and we have a beautiful looking the tank area. The tank is actually a little puny if you compare with any other adventure motorcycle, but you have the logo over here and F900 GS written over there. A little bit of scratches, please ignore. And that engine looks dirty because it is well worked yesterday. It's a 900cc engine, parallel twin with a 270-degree crank. Beautiful the way how it delivers power. Around 100 plus bhp, 90 plus newton meters torque, and that's the right amount of torque. Like, you just leave the clutch and it will actually take you through these kind of roads. And the seat is actually taller one on this one, and the seat is not so comfortable because it's a little harder seat. And the seat is actually, according to me, is only for the rider, because when you're on the highway you sit over here and ride, and when you're off-roading you can actually push back and do the rally riding. Basically, I don't see a big scope for your pillion to sit here because of two things. One, the pillion seat is small. Second thing, it's too much torquey and there is no grab rail. So by the time you actually get onto the 4000 or 5000 rpm, your pillion will be flying out. And we get standard Akrapovic on this motorcycle, but I doubt that, seriously, because it doesn't sound so loud. In a way it is good. Maybe if we remove the catalytic converter, we'll be able to hear a bigger sound out of this motorcycle. And one another most sexiest part of this motorcycle is the back. You look at the back. I don't know that Germans has this beautiful back. I thought Italians have a beautiful looking back, but the rider looks so beautiful, man. I mean, there's a little portion of here which is actually not so useful because it's not part of a seat, and neither you can actually tie your luggage over there, but still it looks so beautiful. The position where that number plate is mounted, and the Akrapovic, that button tires, the way the swing arm looks, man, it looks like a beautiful looking purposeful motorcycle. So this is a taller version, so with my height I don't have that kind of a completely planted foot kind of a feel, but still I can ride it anywhere. I don't mind taking it to these kind of roads alone. Even if it falls, it is a little heavy because it's around 212 kg, but still it's completely not intimidating at all. Come, let's get on the motorcycle. So one side I have the planted foot, and I just ride my height on the road variant. I have complete planted foot. I'm amazed to see that. And this portion actually looks like a medium capacity motorcycle. It's like a 600cc. This is what you want. You don't want a rhinoceros to take it through this kind of road, you know, because it's a purposeful motorcycle. When I say purposeful, you can actually take it in the city, you can ride it on the highway, you can ride it in the trails. So looking at the things over here, you get adjustable lever on both sides. So here you have the caution lamp. Here you have the cruise control switches, the menu button, one switch to turn off the traction control, the indicator and the horn. And on this side we have the heated grips, the mode, and the ignition. And here we have the typical joystick, and it's a keyless, so you just press over it. The display I don't think will be coming so great in the camera because it is little dull. Yeah, so we have all sort of things over here, and we have 4 riding modes. You press on it, you'll get the rain, road, dynamic, and enduro pro. So enduro pro is the one which I've used. There's an enduro mode as well. So enduro pro is actually customizable one. You can actually only display 4 riding modes here. So you disable the enduro mode and you get the enduro pro mode. And let's hear the Acra, which is not so loud. I haven't seen an Acra which doesn't screams like that. Yeah, it sounds a little louder, but you know, when you are on the highway, you don't feel that this motorcycle is actually approaching. So we have a USB charger port over here. So before we hit the highway, let's admire the beauty once again. Whoa, man. Alright, now let's go for the ride. Let's put it in the enduro mode itself, enduro pro mode. So it's in enduro pro, and let me turn off the traction control fully. It's off. So there's a little bit of climb to the other side. You take a U-turn. You know, there's a problem with short riders, but we have solution for everything. See, it's not a too heavy top head motorcycle. It's heavy, I agree, but you know, it was a piece of cake. Ooh, rare slides, man. It slides. Oh, we are very close to the road. I didn't know that. Let me put it back to the dynamic mode. Yeah, we are in dynamic mode. Traction control is on. Quick shift is seamless, just that you need to keep in mind that it's a 2-cylinder, not a 3 or a 4, so there will be some difference. So you have to keep a minimum RPM of 4k. It doesn't mean that it doesn't shift, but it shifts with a little bit of that clunkiness. But if you're past that 6000 mark, it is like, man. By the way, there is a slight bend on the handlebar. Please ignore it. Oh man, it climbs too fast. That it's around 100 horses, 105 horses. So you know, and it's a 2-cylinder. It's very ideal for all purpose. It's not too much, but not too less as well. Actually, it is written over there that the Vmax speed is 160 km/h. By the way, it's a rally variant, the off-road going. So you know, even I've seen that the front wobbled a little bit beyond that 180. So it is that if you're going on off-road trails, you better keep your speed under 160 km/h. I know that it's too much off the road, but on the road it's not that too much. So if you're a road guy, definitely you go for the road version, the road variant. You will be able to cross the 200 km mark. But you know, on that kind of a scenario, what I need to do is just push like this to the rear seat and just sit. That's how you ride rally, you know. It's such a beautiful engine. This one, like 2-cylinder, it gets you everything what you want. From the bottom end, the torque kicks in, and then you get the power in around 6,000 7,000 rpm, and it keeps you going, and you are in a comfortable speed of around around 120 or 130 if you want to turn on the highway. So the engine feedback is so good, and it is nothing less to ride on a lower rpm as well, because you see it's around 60 km/h. I'm just feathering the throttle. Let's not shift down. We are still in 50s. The bike doesn't show any kind of trouble, any kind of problem. If I whack it open, it'll show a little bit of knocking, but otherwise, you just feather it. The bottom end torque will take care of everything. So I'm not even shifting. So now I have an opportunity to shift. So shifting down is also good. Quick shifter works good. So you have ample amount of power, which you can use it on the highway, on the city, on the off-roads. So what I see is that if you are inside the city, put it onto the rain mode. Now we are in the dynamic mode, which is full power, generous amount of ABS and traction control. And if you go to the Enduro and the Enduro Pro, the Enduro you have very less traction control and very less ABS. And in the Enduro Pro mode, actually you can actually customize your riding mode, and you can turn off the traction control completely. But I couldn't turn off the ABS completely. I don't know what's the reason, but yeah, that's good. That's the feedback from the engine, and I really love it. Only thing is, like, it doesn't sound so great in my opinion. Even though it's a 270-degree crank motor, it doesn't sound so good, or doesn't sound so loud as well. Like, I would like to see a little more sound coming out of the motorcycle, because if we are going in the highway like this, I want some attention. Because first of all, if you even park this motorcycle somewhere outside, people don't get to see that, or people don't get to feel that you have parked a close to 20 lakh motorcycle. So it's not an attention grabbing motorcycle unless it is rolling on the road. You can actually park it safe anyway. So some people will think that it's a modified Express, but I'm just kidding. Modified Express is not BMW. It's the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled, which I own. So that's a feel on the engine. And let's talk about the suspension. It is so great. Yesterday I was doing trail riding, and I'm not that kind of so much expert rider. I actually take heavy motorcycles for off-roading. For example, the 800E, the Transalp, and then the KTM 690 Enduro, and of course my own motorcycle, the Ducati Desert Sled. So my success chance of landing properly when I do a jump, like from the first attempt itself, is like it's around 50-50. Yeah, sometimes I land properly, sometimes I not. Then I keep on attempting it, and then I make that jump correct. But on this one, I have to say that yesterday, whatever thing which I was going on through, I was having a success rate of 100%. That means whatever I do, the motorcycle actually has its own ability to get stabilized. So one thing is, of course, the tires, and second thing is the suspension. Beautiful suspension, the way it has been tuned, be it the front or the back, it is for your setting. So the rear I have given less preload, so that I like it that way. There's a reason. And the front is like, it's in the standard setting, whatever it came from the factory. I am completely impressed by the way how this suspension is handling now, be it on road, off the road. And braking is like too good. Yesterday I had a close call. So yeah, one uncle in the Activa actually pushes from the left lane to the right lane, and I was actually about to get sandwiched between two cars, and luckily the car behind me was an Audi A6, and that had very good braking power, and I could see that yesterday. So because of the Audi, I got saved, otherwise I would have rear-ended. So braking is really good, and the ergonomics, I like it. So on this one, the trophy variant, you have a little more taller riding stance. You see a lot of things ahead, and that's the reason why the wind blast is a little more. You might be hearing it from the voice. So but nevertheless, you have a great riding posture. Your leg is relaxed. You get off-road foot pegs, so that means you have more grip with your boot, and the handlebar is wide, and there is a bend on the handlebar on this one. Again, just ignore it. And the handlebar positioning is also good. And when you stand on the foot peg, actually it's a rally, so you just put a little bit of sportiness to your upper body and ride it. And when you're sending it, you actually go behind and ride it like this. It's so much fun to ride on the rally. So your ergonomics, be it off-road and on the road, it's beautiful. You'll definitely love it if you are that kind of a person. And when it comes to the heating, yeah, of course there is a little bit of heating, but I wouldn't say that it's not heating that bad, because it's a 900cc. If you have experienced the Ducati heating, then this is nothing. The latest Ducatis are actually better, but the Desert Sled I have heats a lot. You can cook anything with that, but it is not as comfortable when it comes to heating when you compare with a Honda or a Kawasaki. And ground clearance, of course, it has a lot of ground clearance. And a couple of positives which I see with the motorcycle is the front suspension dive. It is actually very good when it comes to the off-roading part. When you land, you can land properly, and with the same setting, when you come on the road, you have ample amount of confidence on corners. Even with this tire, I was doing a comfortable 120, 140 corner speeds, which is very good in my eyes. And to talk about the clutch feel is actually moderate. It's neither too tight nor too hard, and the gear shift is also precise. I don't have any false neutral problem, and also I have the quick shifter, so I'll be using the quick shifter all the time. I'm not using the clutch for long. Let's pull it hard once again. It's the traction control. I lost the traction. That's the reason why there was a power loss. But it can easily do at 220. I don't have any doubt on that. Yeah, so let's come to the ownership part of the motorcycle. So it is priced around 18.4 lakh on road, Bangalore. This variant, the trophy variant, and the other variant, the road variant, is actually priced at 18 lakh. So this is 40,000 rupees. You will have the adjustable suspension, a taller seat height, a different paint scheme, and the endurance chain. So in my opinion, I'll say that don't really jump into this motorcycle if you don't really need this thing. If you are a completely road guy and wanted to do a medium level of off-roading, you can do that on the other bike also. Like, don't worry on that. If you're starting with your off-roading sessions, then better be on that bike, because that's more comfortable. You can have flat foot on that and then comfortably ride the motorcycle. You can take it in the city. So consider the other one, the road variant, not the trophy. So I'll say that for 18.4 lakh, it is actually a good value, because you get all BMW equipments, like all the sensors and the kind of tech that it has. I'll say that it's not so much value for money. I cannot say really like that, because we have other competitors as well. We can compare it in this video itself, but I'll say that it's a good value. It is really a good equipment for that price. And coming to the fuel efficiency, I'll say that it can vary from 15 km per liter when you're going off the road to a max of 20 to 22, which is not a problem for this motorcycle. But the problem is it has a smaller tank, so you have to fill it up every now and then. And the service interval is once in 10,000 kilometers, and it will cost you something like 10,000 to 50,000 rupees. That's also kind of okay. Now let's come to the verdict part. Should you buy this motorcycle, and what are your competitors? So let's start from the Hondas. You have the Transalp. So according to me, if you have this compared against the Transalp, I'll say that the Transalp is actually a lowered seat height, a little more bulkier version of a city, and I don't say a city motorcycle, but off-roading as well as highway oriented motorcycle. But the Transalp doesn't have this kind of a city aspect. You can take this motorcycle anywhere inside the city. You can take the Transalp as well, but you might find it comfortable if you have these two motorcycles in a garage, and if you are asked to take one out, definitely you'll be taking the BMW. And when it comes to the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally, I'll say that again, that you have a lower seat height motorcycle, but you get intimidated with the looks of the motorcycle, the Triumph. And again, this is a sleekier one, and a little bit of reliability issues with the Triumph electronics. So in that sense, and again, I'll say that you go for this one. And then you have the KTM 890 Adventure R, which is actually a very purposeful motorcycle. Now I'll say that it's a tie. I didn't had a really big experience on the KTM 890, but I'll say that it's a tie, because both has its own positives and negatives. So what are the negatives which I found on this motorcycle? It has a hard seat, and your pillion won't be able to comfortably sit over there. And the major drawback which I see is you cannot tie too much of luggage on this. And it is, I said that correctly, it's like too much of luggage. If you have to tie, you don't even able to tie a proper duffel bag in the back, because it might touch the exhaust, and there is no grab rail. You have to retrofit it. But if you are buying the motorcycle, why not you just make one for you? That's my question. If you are buying this big motorcycle, and it's not a big deal nowadays to find someone who can do this kind of a job. So don't get shy away from this motorcycle saying that you won't be able to tie a lot of luggage on this. Trust me, it's a brilliant motorcycle. And also, I forgot to mention the lights. The lights are also poor. You might need an auxiliary light, and on the highway you might need a better horn also, because now it sounds good, but above 120 it doesn't sound anything. Okay, So in my opinion, I'll say that if you're looking for a balanced motorcycle, say you want to take it inside city, I won't say that you take it like a daily rider, but you put it in the rain mode or in the road mode, you'll be able to comfortably use this motorcycle inside city. And you can park it anywhere, you can use it like a daily rider. It doesn't heat so bad. It heats up, but it doesn't heat so bad. And coming onto the highway, you have amazing cruising speeds, 140 to 160. Give the throttle, it can even go even to 200. And off-roading capability, man, what a beautiful motorcycle for off-roading. So just go for the off-road review and come back. So I just did some off-roading on this motorcycle. Such a beautiful tool to do off-roading. I was actually climbing that hill, going through all these fields. So yeah, let me give you my insights about taking this motorcycle as an off-roader. The weight management is so good. You stand on the foot peg, you get the grip. Only thing is, like, you need a little more stamina, but you just need the stamina of a 300cc. I mean, you just need the stamina of riding a 300cc. The tires are perfect, the engine is perfect, the braking is perfect, engine is so smooth. You get that throttle control, put in the Enduro Pro mode and turn off the traction control. I don't know how to turn off the ABS actually, but turn off the traction control. You have the beautiful slides coming, power slides. So it's a proper rally. You have your body position correct. This motorcycle will forgive you. So that's my take on the BMW F900 GS. I'm so happy to ride this motorcycle because, you know, I've been itching to ride the motorcycle for a very, very long time. It's one of my dream motorcycle to own as well because, you know, currently I'm on a desert sled and it is doing all the things which I want to do except few other things because it has 19-inch wheel and it has its own problems and advantages. So, but yeah, if there is a motorcycle which has impressed me equally with tech and abilities, then I'll say that it is the BMW F900 GS. So that's it. That's my review on this motorcycle. So I hope you like this video, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.